2 hours back, I was studying. I was preparing for civil services examination mains, and after that, after going from here also, maybe from tomorrow, I will be preparing for that. So I just want to say about because I have been briefed that I should talk a little about prelims because that is one of the concerns most of the people. And last year, I would just take 5 minutes to tell about my journey till here. In 2019, I started my preparation in November, and fortunately, I was able to go till interview for CSE only. I could not qualify the forest prelims, and in 2019 interview, I could not finally get into the list. So I missed it by 30-40 marks. It was a big margin. Then in 2020, I again could not qualify the prelims itself marginally. And in 2021, I was able to qualify prelims for both CSE and forest services. And again, I missed my CSE mains this time. I could not qualify CSE main, and this forest I was able to qualify. And now in this also, I was able to qualify for prelims for CSE as well and forest as well, this 2022. So, and I will be giving the mains. So this was my brief journey about how I started. And most importantly, I would like to talk maybe mostly prelims. I think that would be more interesting to you guys because other people would talk me about mains. So according to me, when I was always afraid of prelims, qualifying prelims is a big thing for me. Today also, qualifying prelims is a big thing for me. It's not an easy task. And if someone says they know it, actually there are people who knows things, because some of my friend with whom I follow him so much is Sumit. He's already an officer. So he told me about you have to know prelims, how the papers are talking. This may seem weird to you, some of you guys, but yes, it is it. When you see the prelims paper, for me it is like what I did after I failed in 2020. Why I failed, I could clearly identify. I have marked those questions wrong, which none of you, maybe in the first attempt, I myself would not have marked wrong. For example, there was a question in 2020 about MSP. It was written that all the crops were given MSP, and I marked it correct. I mean, I did that question wrong. So when I came back and I saw there was many questions which I made wrong, because I was thinking that UPSC is particularly making questions to trap me. So this was my thought process. And after that, in 2021 onwards, I was like, there is some trend which is going and I have to follow it. Even if some questions go wrong, I will follow the trend. So I started doing papers. In 2020, I read a lot of coaching institutes, magazines, every questions from 1,000 questions from here and there, but I could not qualify. But this time and the last time also, this time I could not read much, but last time I read much, but I totally focused on the PYQs. So in one line, when I say about prelims is about previous year questions, absolutely previous year questions. I'll give you an example. Many of you might have given the 2020 prelims. Is there anyone who have given this prelims this time? Yeah. So when you see the paper, there was a question about identify which of them is a bird, right? Which is not a bird. So the option was golden mahseer. And when you see the PYQ, there is an option golden mahseer. So if you know that, you will hardly take 5 seconds to answer that question. I mean, obviously there are few examples I have written down so that it makes sense. So in this prelims also, there was a tough question. I made it wrong. Particularly, there was a question about in southern canal something. The answer is there was some river which is in southern India. There is a river, and that river have been mentioned in budget. There were 5 interlinking projects that the government proposed, and in 2 interlinking projects that river has been mentioned, and that was the answer of that question. And also there was question of poly something, and that is also from the previous year question. In 2021 paper, you will get 3 questions right in 2022 paper immediately, because if you see the options, you are able to get the right answers of 2022. So my whatever knowledge, limited knowledge I have, what I could understand about prelims is like, research every option. It will be much beneficial rather solving 50 test series and 75 test series rather than solving 2013 to 2022 papers by one option, each and every option. I am saying with full conviction, because that has worked for me and that has worked for so many candidates because I was also in the trap of like, I have to solve so many papers. In the first attempt, I solved 50 test papers. Second attempt, I solved even 70 test paper, but I could not qualify. So you have to understand what the prelims is demanding. But still, if I have to give prelims again, I will be afraid. So this is a disclaimer. But but what I feel that you have to be confident about prelims is about the options. You have to Google the options. You have to see what the options is speaking. I think the most of the things of the prelims would be done in that regard. So this is it for the prelims, and I think this was I was supposed to do, and I will also tell about the forestry if maybe some of you will be interested in forestry as well, because if you have to get a few marks more to qualify the prelims examination for forestry, and my optional was physics, and other optional was forestry itself. So first, everything which I could understand till now is surrounding about PYQs. I would rather suggest someone to solve test papers, and there is a choice between test papers and PYQs. I will ask him or her to go for the PYQs first, because in test paper what happens, because you have to, every time there is some new question and there is a chance that you might not be knowing, and it in real examination also that happens. So the purpose of test paper is like you have to get the feel, even if I don't know the question, how I am going to attempt it. So I have made a strategy. The bigger the question, the easier the answer. So I was very happy when I see a big question. I tried to be, because in bigger the question, my friend told you will have so many keywords that will be helping you out to get the answer. So that would be a great thing to happen. So I think which I could share about prelims is like this only, that would be helpful for all of you. So this is it from my side. Thank you very much.